Back on top, I've been through more lows than you can imagine. Flew higher than most, I'm always traveling. Been places that you never been.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Garrett, and today we're gonna guys a new video. And it's been a while since you've seen my hands with the pencil and some paper. And today we're gonna be making a video on something pretty cool. This is gonna be on how to create your own Monogram logo. If you guys are interested in this logo itself, it's gonna be used from some apparel. And I'm gonna be releasing all those kind of details and stuff around 10,000 subscribers. So I still have to get my website set up and everything like that. So without further ado, the logo. So basically, this is a Monogram logo. What a Monogram logo is, it's two letters. Let's just say it's an A and D. It's an A, and then it's like a D inside of it, and you know, it looks something like that. And basically, we're going to be breaking it down into a very large concept of a B and a D for BehrDesign. You guys can do any two letters you want. You know, it's the same concept. So just sit back, watch this video, and then you can do your own. And let's get right into it. So what you want to do is just open up to a fresh piece of paper. You guys can use any kind of paper, computer paper, sketchbook paper. Graph paper would probably work the best, but we're going to be using just straight up sketchbook paper. So the first thing you want to do is just make your straight line. In this case, we're using a straightening, or a straight edge of my wax, and I'm just going to make it the line as straight as possible on both sides. And you guys can use a ruler for this. It's basically just going to create these two lines, and then I'm going to put this one kind of in the middle. And I'm using the side of my paper as my guidelines, just because if I put this on the side, I know that my line's going to be straight and parallel to these. That's just a kind of a tip and trick you'll learn and stuff like this. I'm going to apologize right now for the glare. I'm going to be moving my paper back and forth so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to erase this bottom line because we're not going to be using it. We're only going to be using the ones in the middle. And we're not going to do this just crazy in-depth and crazy line work because it's not really worth it when you're doing a logo like this. We're going to just roughly sketch it and stuff like this. So basically, you want to start off with figuring out what letters you want to use. Obviously, for me, I'm using a B and a D, but you're going to want to figure out any of the letters. So the way that you want to just kind of figure out how to draw these letters is in the bottom of your paper, kind of in the bottom bracket right here. You guys can like draw like a little circle or something like that to kind of bracket it off. You want to just draw a regular B, and you're like just regular letters, just like these two. Just kind of put them right in the middle and just kind of look at them for a second. You need to understand how these are kind of made and how they're built together. In this case, the B, it has a vertical line, and then it has two kind of like circles. So we're gonna have just, let's say it's a straight one. Obviously, it's kind of a rectangle itself, and then it's gonna be two circles. So if you take this and then you bring the middle line in, you have yourself a B. Just kind of erase those lines, and you can see that it comes along like that. So this is really just sloppily done. You know, you're not gonna have to worry about kind of creating this concept too fast. And then obviously for a D, it's kind of like a square or a very elongated rectangle, however you want to draw it. And for right here, it's literally just a half a circle inside the rectangle. And then you take it out, erase that kind of corner segment, and it's just a regular D. So that's just gonna be creating those letters and figuring out how you break them down. For you guys, I would just leave them on this paper because I know what I'm drawing already. For you guys, it'd be something else. So to break it down into the space that we drew up here, what you want to do is just first draw one vertical line. And you can draw it thick. If I was you guys, using a mechanical pencil would be ideal. Drawing these lines a little bit thicker on the side of the graphite would help a lot too, because it's really, it's really erasable and it's tough. And you basically want to create one rectangle on the side, and this is going to control the thickness of your logo. So let's just say my thickness of all my lines are going to be about this. If you guys have a ruler, you'll measure it and like draw like 2 centimeters up in the corner or something like that. Obviously, I'm not going to worry about it. So we're just going to enclose that. And then we're going to start this off with just the B regular, because the B is kind of the main focus of my name. So what I want to do is basically create the B. So as we drew before, it's one bottom line up here. Just draw again one more time. It's one bottom line, and then we're going to draw these two top lines, and then obviously it's the two half circles with the line in the middle. Alright, so that's going to be the B. So for ourselves, we're just going to take the paper, and I draw kind of sideways sometimes, so I'm going to apologize now, but we're going to take the corners, and we're just going to draw the regular B. And you can make it however long you want. In this case, I'm just going to make it about that long. Try to center this up as best as possible. If you guys are using a ruler, I would just use a ruler. For this tutorial, I'm not going to take all of my time measuring out everything just because it takes a little bit. And do your best trying to make these sides as even as possible. And then obviously the next horizontal line is going to be the one in the middle. So kind of eyeball where the middle would be, and then just bring it out from there. Maybe like that. Alright, and then you guys can enclose this right here. So you have kind of like an E looking right now. So obviously to you guys this probably doesn't look too good, but I have this whole envision thing already in my head. So what you want to do now is basically start drawing the kind of circular movements inside the logo. So how I'm going to do this is I know that this corner right here has to meet up with this corner, and this corner has to meet up with this corner. So I'm just going to draw a little circle. I'm going to make sure the middles are kind of inside that little kind of corners and stuff. And then for this one, I'm just going to follow that little sketch I did. Like this. Right? So kind of have like a little kind of drawing right here. Same thing with this. You know, this corner is going to have to meet with this one, and this one's going to have to meet with this one. So this one's a little bit bigger. Obviously, these don't have to be perfect. This is just a regular little sketch, and you guys are gonna have to redo a lot of it inside of like Photoshop and stuff, or Illustrator. We're gonna be using Photoshop for this video. So you have this, and then you guys can literally just erase these little half circles, erase the insides, and make it as clean as possible. And it doesn't have to be perfect as well. If you guys really want to, you guys can go inside this with a pen and kind of sharpen up those edges like I did with the other one. And same thing right here. Just take out this other stuff. So let's just say you guys are happy with this whole B itself. It's looking good. You guys can just make those lines a little bit darker. And you want to start adding that D inside of it. That's what she said. So basically all you want to do is just draw your B again. Kind of like the one that you did for this. Just the same way, just a little bit fainter. And let's just say we have this B. And the D can be any kind of way, and it can be inside right here. You guys can put it like this, or you guys can bring it out through the whole entire thing and put it right here. So it's basically however you want to do it. You know, it doesn't really matter too much, but for this case we're going to be putting it through the whole entire thing. So in my head I know that I have to have this come out the same kind of length in each side. So I'm going to be making just these rectangles right here, these vertical rectangles. And I'm going to draw them in very slightly the same kind of width as everything else. And I'm going to try to size it each side the best I can. And like I said, it's very loose when you're drawing these. You know, you don't want to be crazy in detail with this because it's not really going to matter when you guys vector it anyway. So you have your kind of two angles and sides. And the next thing you want to do is you want to know that's going in between the kind of circles. So we're just going to draw two rectangles that go through these, and you guys can just cross over these lines. It doesn't really matter too much, and just kind of connect them and make sure they don't touch the top of the B or the bottom of the B. That's kind of ideal and key when you're doing this. So, and then you guys can bring these out all the way to the side. And right now it's really hard drawing this because I can't really see. I have my tripod on like my eyes because I don't have any overhead cams. If you guys like these videos, I'll go purchase one or something to do. Alright, so now that you guys have this kind of rough sketch, you guys can see it, there's just a bunch of lines everywhere, you know, you might get confused, but what you can do now is start kind of drawing out this circular shape for the D. So you're going to know that everything like a D, it has a kind of curved, in this case ours is more so like this, and it kind of curves inwards. So we're going to take this inward and just kind of curve this in, curve this together, and same thing right here, just like that. You have your straight line still, it curves, straight line, it curves, and then for this one you guys can just leave it straight like this. And then obviously you guys can just make these hard edges go all the way through this B now because you know you're set on the sketch. And then you guys can bring this all the way through. And then you guys have this. So now you're probably really confused on what you're doing. There's probably a bunch of lines up to the camera a lot more, and you guys focus it. Hopefully my camera focuses, though it's on manual focus crap. So it's a bunch of lines everywhere. You know, you're probably super confused, like, Garrett, like, how is this gonna make sense? So all I want to do is delete these. Yeah, I wish it was Photoshop. Just erase these kind of corners, and then erase those extra lines inside the logo, except for the ones that cross. And what you want to do now is decide how you want the logo to kind of protrude out. So I'm going to have mine go under this B right here. So I'm just going to draw 2 vertical lines right next to that B, and I'm going to have it go over. So I'm just going to erase where the B would go over. Actually, nope, take that back. I'm going to have it erase where the B right here. And you guys can just draw these lines like super sloppy too. And I'm going to have this go, let's just say back over again, and then under. So now that you have that, you guys can take out your eraser again and just erase right here. And erase right there. And then go back in and make these lines a lot thicker. Like this. Like I said, you guys do not need to be very clean with this. You guys can be pretty loose and sloppy, just because you guys are going to need to vector it anyway. So you guys have that. Obviously this breaks right here. Same with this. Maybe erase. You can like literally go over this and erase it and go back over like 100 times. Like I probably spent a good 4 hours drawing my other B and D logo. And just kind of sharpen up those lines. And then you guys can go back and like and erase like these like extra sloppy stuff. And same thing with this one, just kind of clean up everything. A very good technique is when you're drawing these logos, instead of like drawing it like that, kind of like go back and forth, so it kind of creates a little like sloppy illustration effect. Like if you're drawing a circle, you can't just draw it like that. Like draw it in a couple of times, and you guys have like a regular circle. And so like you want to just take like your pencil and just go back and forth a few times through these corners and through like the other stuff. It makes the edges darker, and it makes your lines better to see and better to understand. And that's just kind of a little technique that I learned doing these logos. So now that you guys have your kind of your sketch, you guys can color it in, and all I'm going to do is with my pencil is just take the sides, maybe click the pen a little times, and just shade it like this. Just little circular movements, because it's better when you're shading. And if you guys want videos on like how to like shade with a pencil and like how to do values and stuff like that, let me know, because I did take college art in high school. Well, I'm still in high school, but I took it last year. So I do understand how to draw and how to shade and how to do all that kind of stuff. Probably pencil, like in traditional art and stuff like that, probably pencil is my best medium, rather than like paint. I'm not really good with paint. I can do it on a computer, but when it comes to like mixing colors and like actually getting all like that kind of stuff together, it's not the best. So, and a lot of people are gonna probably say something about the way I hold my pencil, and I know I hold my pencil wrong. Obviously, I haven't been taught the right way, and my art teacher said in college that I'll be getting drilled about that, so she said just to wait. She doesn't want to put me through it now, because I'm gonna have to go through it again in college. It's kind of different between colleges and how teachers see it, so it's very opinion based. So just gonna take that in. I'm gonna erase some extra stuff right here and make these lines a little bit better to see. Again, go through it like this, darken those edges, erase it in between, get those graphite smudges outside, and you guys can have your own looking logo. And you guys are probably like sitting on your computer right now like, how do you just do this? But this is basically the easiest way to do it, is to just draw the letters out. Like I said, just draw like a bunch of letters, like draw a B like this way. Oops. Think of another way to draw it, you know, let's say you're gonna draw it like this. Another way could be You know, you can draw like kind of a calligraphy way. You can draw lowercase. You can think of like a bunch of different ways. You can think of how the logos are put together. Of course, I would totally think about how a B and a D were put together. Like a B is definitely more so of a, let's just say, a square with a line in the middle, and then 2 circles, and then obviously you take it back out and you draw just the outline of everything, and you have just kind of your logo. So that's kind of a really simple way to learn it. You need to learn logo shapes and how logos are formed to do this. Obviously, I'm not so old to this, and not so new to this. I'm very like kind of experienced drawing these logos as I do them for clients all the time, and also I'm doing this for a living. So basically, this is going to be it for the video. If you guys enjoyed this part, leave a thumbs up, and basically if you guys like these kind of videos of me just drawing, chilling back, you guys can just let me know in the comments below. I'll be sure to do more. And like I said, just shade it in. You can use a pencil, a pen, marker. If you're doing the logo, I definitely prefer you guys using mechanical pencils or drawing pencils. Don't use like the, I don't even know what they're even called, those wooden pencils that they give you at like state tests. Like, those are terrible. And they're really good for shading, but they're terrible for actual art. And if you guys have like regular Prisma pencils, like colored pencils and drawing pencils, I would stay away from those. Just save those for another time. Save those for a different video. So as I said before, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something. If you guys did like this video, leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys later on. Peace out.